The other night, I was reminded how life is like a game. I was playing a game and I remembered that all I gotta do is recognize the pattern and I will overcome the obstacle. And the more attention you give to the pattern, you start to pick it up. You start to notice and understand, and you learn what it takes to overcome the obstacle in whatever you're doing, whether it's a card game, whether it's a board game, whether it's a video game. And that's exactly how life works. That is a picture that is modeled after aspects of life. I later thought about it more. I was reflecting on that little reminder, and I took some notes. I'm not reading from a book. This is me just thinking about it. And I was noticing that there's mini games. There's the meta game, which is all of life. That is basically the big picture. And then there's little mini games. And how you play those mini games determine how you do in the meta game. If you just focus on one area of life, you're only going to get so far. You're only going to be, and then when that thing's taken away from you and you can't, maybe a freak accident happens, or maybe a curveball happens that you cannot control. You focused all your area in this one game that you have no ground gained in any other area. So you got to play all these mini games. You're on a main quest and you have these little side quests that you have to accomplish. And those games can be social skills and relationships. They can be finances, career and business, fitness and health, thinking, patterns of thought and behaviors, music and art. These are all made up of patterns. The nature of creation is all made in patterns. Geometry, everything is displayed through pattern. So observe these patterns. Just be an observer. Be a learner. Pay attention. And then you implement them. You analyze your results. You don't fail. Even if you pay attention and then you try and that first attempt, second, whatever, isn't successful, you just learned what not to do. Keep going. It's like playing a video game. Oh, I jumped too soon. Oh, I didn't do this. Oh, maybe I'll try this. Keep doing it. You didn't fail. You get to retry. You get to spawn back. You get to play again. Keep going. You're learning. You're learning the patterns. Then implement them. Repeat and analyze your results until you're successful. Those are patterns. And you can do that in every area of life. You didn't learn finances? Okay, well observe. Observe someone that does know more about finances. Read a book. Watch some videos. Pay attention to the patterns. There's only so much that exists. There's nothing new under the sun down here. They're just new implementations of patterns that were already down here. It's a recreation of technology or of frequencies or of patterns or of things that already existed. Music, you're just recreating all of these frequencies and all of these chords or notes, scales, all of it already exists. So people are just playing with these patterns. They are recreating them. Art is the same way. Everything is. This also applies to actions, moral and conventional. Don't get stuck in mechanical action. Meaning, you can go about things on default. You have a base nature, you have desires, and you have hunger. and you have this like mechanical action preset in you. And if you go about that, you can be easily swayed. You can be persuaded, it's like someone just will set something in front of you, and because you're going through things with mechanical action on default, you'll go through this little maze or way of life or system, rat race, whatever it is, whatever country you're in, all these patterns exist. And if you take mechanical action, I'm just going to see where life takes me, I'm just going to go with the flow, you have to do things intentionally. You have to take action intentionally. There's only two patterns. You either do it with intention or you're just, that pattern isn't going to result in anything you imagined. Oh, I didn't expect that to happen because you didn't do anything with intention. There's going to be things set in front of you that you can't control or you didn't expect, regardless if you're going through life with intention, regardless if you have a plan, if you have a goal, if you have a dream. Things are going to be put in front of you that derail you from those plans and dreams. Sometimes you're gonna mess up so bad. Thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was headed in the right direction, and you make a mistake that sets you off course. Now you got to reorient yourself and be like, okay, now where am I? I fell down this hole. Now I'm in a different land. Now I have a different perspective of the land I'm in. You could always readjust. Now reanalyze. Okay, now I'm over here. I still want to get over there. Or redirect. Okay, I'm over here. Over there doesn't seem like such a promising goal anymore. That's not where I want to go. I'm going to go here because from this perspective, it looks different now. So, how are you going to act? Who are you going to be when those hard times come? Or when those obstacles that you created or you didn't create come your way? Because if you're not practicing doing things with intention, with a definite outcome, you're not playing the game. You're gonna be thrown for the loop. Because you can't avoid it. It's everywhere. And so if you're not building yourself up in all these metagames to get strong enough and to be aware enough to recognize these patterns and these mishaps that might and will happen, you're not going to be conditioned enough to overcome it. You're not going to be able to bob and weave and readjust. Ooh, I got smacked, didn't see that one, but I can counter punch. How you respond will create the personification you become. Your response creates a pattern. Challenges and new experiences, new stimuli, just like anything physical, like going to the gym, new stimulus in the gym. Say you're used to lifting light weights, high repetition, or you're used to playing sports, you're used to running, you're used to doing all these things. As soon as you switch it up and you start doing something different, maybe you start lifting heavy, maybe you start swimming, anything new will make an impact on your nervous system, your brain and body, and create new neural pathways. Those new patterns are going to create new patterns in your brain and enable you to adapt and learn. So pay attention to the patterns. Go about them intentionally. You have to do what is challenging. If you got a comfy life, if everything's easy, you're not growing. You're not learning. You're not adapting. You're playing the same level over and over again. You're just running around the mountain, not gaining any ground. And if you have no obstacles, if you've settled in, you're like, oh yeah, I am comfortable, I am content. Create new obstacles. Set new goals. Aim higher. Refine where you're at. You can look at skills you don't have, create new ones, or refine the skills you do have. There's always ground to gain. Set adversity, because adversity is an invitation to level up. It's a pattern with a definite outcome dependent on your actions. So you can control that. You don't feel good, you can take action to feel better. Whether that's mentally, physically, your internal health, you have some control. You have to choose that higher way of being, that mindset. Don't let yourself keep you back. And sometimes it's not even yourself. What is that? It's just thoughts. It's like you're a receiver and you're picking up all these frequencies. You got to choose which station to tune into. Or block them out. Tap in. And choose the highest one. You have vision for a reason. And if your vision's cloudy, take some things away. Watch where your eyes and your focus are, because it can be clouding your vision. Just block all that stuff out so you can see clearly, think clearly. Get alone, get quiet. Because that's what you need to gain ground. When you start gaining accomplishments, whether it's little, whether it's making your bed first thing in the morning, whether it's doing the dishes, whether it's I'm gonna do one more rep, or I'm at work and yeah, there's that task I saw that needed to be done. I don't want to do it. No one's gonna notice if I do it or not. You noticed. There's a reason you noticed. Do it. Choose the highest way of being. Because what you get from that is self-respect. You're gonna level up. And now you're gonna get used to doing that. Earn it and you'll be rewarded. Something happens when you do all those little meta games, all these little tasks, these side quests. You're gonna get better at the bigger ones. You get practice. No matter how little the situation is. If you're going through something painful, there's a death in the family, something happened to you physically, emotionally, there is a relationship that is no longer there, financial hardship. There's all these things that can be painful because we have attached our identity, our perception to these things. And when those things dissolve or no longer exist in a way that we perceived them once before, it can be painful. If your appearance changed out of nowhere, you have some control of the outcome, regardless of the situation. Your mindset will get you through this obstacle and allow you to level up. You have tools. You have dialogue with yourself and with the Creator. You have thought patterns that can shield yourself. You have weapons. You have abilities. Use them. Use those abilities. You don't have much? Sharpen them. Practice them. Because those skills and those observations are going to be the things that get you through it. And they're preparing you for what's next.